Well, yeah. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about another cocktail classic. We're going to do a daiquiri, classic Cuban cocktail. This is personally one of my favorite cocktails of all time. It's easily in the top 10, that's for sure. It is so simple and so delightful, and coincidentally also so bastardized, ruined, and besieged really by all of the mid-level bars of the world. So I thought I'd do it some proper justice. So I'll adjust the camera and we'll get into it. Okay, so daiquiri. Again, as I mentioned, it really is such a bone simple drink. What we'll do, come out of here, we're going to start with an ounce of lime juice. And again, I mentioned it before, but it doesn't hurt to repeat myself. Always do fresh juice. The only exception, go with that. Yeah, the only exception I'll make on occasion is pineapple juice. Sorry, there's a helicopter going on outside. Pineapple juice, merely because it's kind of annoying to chop up pineapple and get the juice out of it all the time, and it gets so much juice that unless you're making a ton of pineapple drinks, I feel like I often waste it. So with pineapple juice, I'll actually just stock up on cans and use those. But anyway, so we need our ounce of our lime juice, and then we're going to do 2 bar spoons of sugar. I'm using, it's a pure cane sugar. You can use table sugar. I wouldn't use like a demerara because it takes much longer to dissolve properly. This is the nice midpoint between something like a demerara and cane sugar, or table sugar rather. So we want kind of heaping spoonfuls, if you can see that okay. We just want 2 of them. Then we're going to use our bar spoon to stir the sugar and the lime juice together to help it dissolve. I also like to kind of crunch it like so. So the daiquiri apparently was invented either in 1898 in the Spanish-American War by a mining engineer, of all things, who was stuck in Cuba, an American engineer. Or alternatively, as all of these cocktails typically have, alternative history, it was invented by an American congressman in like 1902, apparently. Hard to say which is the truth, but either way, it's safe to say this is actually an extremely old cocktail, which I think is cool. A lot of people don't know that cocktails can be quite so old, or have a history and frankly a lore to them. So as you're stirring this drink and dissolving the lime and the sugar together, let's see if I can get the camera work here, you'll start to notice that if you bring the liquid towards the top and let it drop back down, if you start seeing a bunch of little dots or bumps, it's the sugar and it hasn't fully dissolved. So go until you really don't see too much of that anymore. You don't have to slave over it, but I'll give you an idea. And if you taste it, exactly, it should taste like a overly tart lemonade, basically, or in this case, a limeade. And then we need our rum. We need 2 ounces of rum. I'm using Probitas. It's a brand I frankly love. It's technically it's a Puerto Rican rum, if I recall, but this is actually a blended white rum. It's a combination of a coffee and a pot still rum. Comes in around, I think I usually buy this at about like $30, kind of on the nose. At a lot of publicly available or widely available stores like Specs or Total Wine, that sort of thing. I actually had the opportunity to meet a gal who was very close to the production of many of these rums. This is made by Foursquare. And she told me that this is actually closer to a traditional Cuban rum than Havana Club is, which is pretty wild. So it is delightful. I highly recommend it. If you don't have this, you could get away with, El Dorado 3-year, Plantation 3-star, Denizen has a pretty good white rum as well. Those are all perfectly acceptable for a traditional daiquiri. If you want to spruce things up, you could use a Jamaican or a Demerara or even a Martinique if you want to get kind of kooky with it. But anyway, 2 ounces of a white Puerto Rican in this case, or if you have Havana Club, use that too. Okay. And now we need our ice. It really is that simple. Rum, sugar, lime, and ice. One of the reasons why I love this cocktail so much, because it travels so well, and it really is such a crowd pleaser. So I usually do just enough ice to start to cover the top of the liquid. You can see that okay? Don't really need to do too much more. I'm not made of ice, so I don't want to waste it. But I also don't want to do too little and have the thing come apart in the drink and get too liquidated. Give her a smack. And then we want a chilled coupe glass. Let's use this guy, nice and pretty. And we're going to double strain. I mentioned before, hopefully, if I haven't, apologies. The Hawthorne strainer is really for getting the larger chunks of ice out of the drink, or keeping them out of the drink. And then the conical strainer is for removing a lot of the fruit pulp that might get in there. So we're going to double strain, just shake her gently, release some more of that liquid. Sometimes you'll get a little bit stuck in the bottom tin, so I tend to upend that as well, just in case. And that's the daiquiri. You serve it up, there's no garnish, and you enjoy. My lord, is this drink not just amazing?